Greetings to everyone out there watching this. I'm Shagun Sani from Grade 8B, the Chitkara International School, and this is my take on a program introduced by Chitkara International School named Revision Through Video, where students explore their potential and, well, they teach. The lesson I'm going to be recalling is from the supplementary reading book in grade 8 named It So Happened, and the lesson's name is How the Camel Got Its Hump. Let's begin, shall we? The world had just begun and the animals were working for humans. The world had just started and the animals were in control of humans and they were working for them. There was one lazy animal that did nothing and said nothing but hump, and we're gonna read about this mysterious animal in this chapter. Even the clever Jinn was at its wits' end. Jinn is basically a spirit which has strange powers and can take any form, whether it be human, animals, or living or non-living. In fact, the beginning, when the world it was new and the animals were just beginning to work for man. There was a camel who lived in the middle of the howling desert because he did not want to work. The world was new to everyone, even the animals and the humans. The animals were beginning to work for men. And there was that suspicious animal we were talking about, a camel. He lived in the middle of a howling desert, which means he lived in the middle of a very dry, droughty desert. He ate sticks, thorns, and prickles, and when anybody spoke to him, he just said hump, just hump, and no more. When he just ate, his main source of food was sticks, prickles, and thorns. And when anybody had tried to have a conversation with him or even like said something to him, all he said was hump, just hump, and no more. Presently, the horse came to him on Monday morning with a saddle on his back and said, "Camel, oh camel, come out and ride like the rest of us." One day the horse came to him on a Monday morning to the camel and said, "Camel, oh camel, come out and rot like the rest of us, because we're working for a man, and what are you doing? Just eating your sticks, prickles, and thorns all along the way." Hump said the camel, and the horse went away and told the Jinn. Presently the dog came to him with a stick in his mouth and said, "Camel, oh camel, come and fetch and carry like the rest of us." Hump said the camel, and the dog went away and told the man. Well, guess what happened again? Dog was meeting the camel, just reminding of him of his duties, and the dog came to him with a stick on his mouth and said, "Camel, camel, come out and fetch like the rest of us," because that was the dog's job. And well, guess what the camel said? Hump. Just that and no more. Presently, the ox came to him with a yoke in his neck. A yoke is an instrument used for plowing. Said, "Camel, oh camel, come and plow like the rest of us." Hump said the camel, and the ox went away and told the man. Ox also came to the camel to remind him of his duties. Well, he just said hump and no more, and the ox went away and told the man. At the end of the day, the man called the horse, the dog, and the ox together. "Three of three, I'm very sorry for that, but that hump thing in the desert can't work, or he would have been here by now." The man called all three of them at the end of the day, the horse, the ox, and the dog. "Three of three, I'm very sorry." That he just apologized for for what the three had. Wait, what? He apologized for the misunderstanding that the camel could work whereas he couldn't, and he referred to the camel as that hump thing because all he said was hump and no more. Or he would have been here by now if he would have worked. So I'm gonna leave him alone because he can't work, obviously, and you work double time to make up for it. The three were very angry, of course, because they had to work double time to pay all the camel's dues, and they held a panchayat at the end of the desert. The camel came chewing cud and laughing at them, then he said hump and went away again. The camel knew that they couldn't force him to work because the man just, gave the three their duties to work double time, and the camel, and even the man believed that the camel couldn't work. Presently, there came along the jinn who was in charge of the deserts, of all the deserts in the world, rolling in a cloud of dust. Jinn of all deserts, said the horse, is it right for anyone to be idle? Certainly not, said the jinn. Well, said the horse, there's a thing in the middle of a desert with a long neck and long legs, and he hasn't done a stroke of work since the Monday morning. He won't trot. Trot is basically the gait of a horse, and the gait means the walk. And the horse, none of these knew Camel's real name, so you can see instances where they're referring to him as the hump thing, the thing in the middle of a desert with long legs and long neck. View, said the jinn, whistling. That's my camel. What does he say about it? Obviously, that's a very relevant question, because if you're complaining about someone that they're not doing the work, they had to reply something. He says hump and he won't plow, said the ox. Very good, said the jinn. I'll hump him if you will kindly wait a minute. And here there's a metaphor. I'll hump him means that he will talk to him. The jinn will talk to him and set him right. The jinn remonstrated with the camel who said hump. Remonstrated means protested or complained. The camel's beautiful back suddenly grew a lump, which was the camel's hump. The jinn assured the camel his hump would be always a help and not a hindrance. A hindrance means something of an ugly appearance. The jinn rolled himself in a dust cloak in which he came the cloud of dust, and took a wave across the desert and found the camel looking at his own reflection in a pool of water. My friend, said the jinn, what is this I hear of your doing no work? The jinn sat down with his chin in a hand while the camel looked at his own reflection in a pool of water. If it isn't clear,